Hey, it's Steve, and I'm back with another review I hope you'll appreciate. So today I want to review a new probiotic, prebiotic formula called Therbiotic Synbiotic from Klaire Labs. Man, that's a lot of biotic right there. Klaire Labs currently makes Therbiotic Complete, which happens to be 2-to-1 the best-selling probiotic in the professional space. That means it's far and away the most prescribed probiotic in America. So when it comes to Klaire Labs and probiotics, we've come to expect the best. Hypoallergenic, broad-spectrum probiotics that deliver live probiotics where you need them, probiotics that work. And now Klaire is leading the way with the next generation. Okay, let's go. Let's get to it. So probiotics are healthy gut bugs. These are the guys that we're going to take into our bodies that can be in the form of foods, but we're going to speak more specifically about supplementation. And these bugs are going to help influence our microbiome. If we think about this product, I wanted to bring up the specific bugs that are in Therbiotic Synbiotic. And I want to take a little bit more visual because I could put down a bunch of papers for you guys, but really what we want to see is how is this actually going to influence the system? And so Klaire chose probiotics that were specific to immune function. We house about 70% of our immune system within our GI tract. And so Klaire chose bugs that are going to be able to positively influence that immune function and help modulate that. So that's not this very robust freak out histamine reaction. It's going to be more tempered. It's going to be more controlled. It's going to boost things that are going to help give intelligence to your immune system. So coming back to main function again, Synbiotic, Therbiotic Synbiotic has 7 strains in this formula, and a huge part of what Klaire wanted to focus on again was that immune system function. Another thing Klaire really looked at is antibiotic support. We know that there are probiotics out there very specific to supporting the dysbiosis that can happen right after antibiotics. Saccharomyces boulardii is another one. There are 2 more off the top of my head. Klaire makes a formula called ABX and also one called Biospora. All right, so also Lactobacillus plantarum. Lactobacillus plantarum is another really, really good probiotic to help support through antibiotic therapy and then, of course, digestive function. Now, we know that probiotics help us digest our food. Specifically, there's probiotics that are out there that can help us digest certain lactose molecules or casein molecules or gluten molecules. And so Klaire selected strains that are going to be able to help not only support these digestive functions, but also help support, move things through and help break them down so that we can assimilate them better. Klaire also chose one specific for respiratory function. And respiratory function is a strong and close connection with immune function. It's one of our first mucous membranes that gets interacted with the outside world. And so regardless of if we have quote-unquote respiratory troubles, it's one of our main interfaces because it's also one of our drainage pathways. The lungs release all of our excess gas waste. And so Klaire found probiotics, so interesting, right? Klaire found probiotics that are in our gut that can actually influence our lungs. But it makes sense because our gut is a mucous membrane, our lungs are a mucous membrane, so they're very much interact with each other. So a really great symbiotic relationship. That one's with an M, not an N. And then also the inflammation modulation. We know that Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG is a very well-studied probiotic. Has a lot of research behind it. But one of the most amazing things that it does is that it directly targets different inflammatory enzymes and proteins and pathways within the GI tract to bring that inflammation down. Again, remembering that our GI tract houses 70% of our immune system. Our immune system basically is an inflammation carrier, right? It cruises around, sees something that's not self, and then it falls apart, creates all this inflammation. And that inflammatory process is what actually calls in the different cells, brings in the different stuff, that brings in the cleanup crew, brings in the army, so that there can be some shift in what that foreign substance is. So that is a massive response, one of the first immune system cells that sees a foreign particle. And then also digestive comfort. And so this is associated with gas, bloating, also with just that feeling of like, oh, just really sitting in my belly, right? Those types of things. So this is a really great probiotic that has a broad range of benefits to it. What I'm going to point out is that Therbiotic Synbiotic, this little guy right here, also has Lactobacillus acidophilus DDS1. And then Klaire also has Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG. Both of those are some of the 2 most well-studied probiotics available today. So there's quite a bit of value in there as well. There's a technical data sheet that I can share with you as well as I have a couple other educational materials that really point out those different strains. But for the purposes of this presentation, let's talk a little bit more big picture. So let's talk about who would be this person that would be looking to supplement with this formula. One of the things I really like to look at is the active lifestyle. So this is a shelf-stable probiotic. All the strains in there do have solid research on them. It's 1 serving per day. Obviously that can be titrated based on what the practitioner offers, but it's a boost of health from within. So it's for a very conscious consumer that knows that hair, skin, and nails health come from the GI tract. The GI health is reflected in every part of our bodies. This is going to be a very convenient capsule to give to an active lifestyle. Another thing to think about is the immune system boost. So we're coming into cold and flu season, and Synbiotic has a huge ability to not just help with inflammation modulation within the body, but also boost that immune system function and take care of the respiratory tract. That you can have about a 1.3 trillion decrease in probiotics, the healthy bugs in your gut after just one bad night of sleep, which is nuts, right? Crazy. So really important to help support that. Respiratory, we can think about athletic performance. This is very important, not only when you're sick, but also to maintain that active lifestyle. Again, the allergy, cold and flu season, very valuable in that regard. Any respiratory issue. So this can be your asthma patient, this can be your child, maybe that's still growing or developing in some parts of the country during what they call fire season, unfortunately, is another really important part when there's all that smoke in the air. There's a big connection there. And then also, I really like to acknowledge, because this does have such a huge influence on the respiratory system, in traditional Chinese medicine, the lungs are associated with the emotion of grief when it's out of balance. So we hold a lot of sadness in our lungs. And so we know that probiotics affect our mood. They produce all these different enzymes that stimulate the production of serotonin and dopamine, the happy hormones. And so this probiotic is specific to respiratory tract. It's studied strains that are in there, and Therbiotic Synbiotic supports healthy barrier function as well as healthy flora too. All right, so prebiotics. I love prebiotics so much. Does that sound weird? All right, the official definition of prebiotics is anything that we take in that the microorganisms within our bodies can utilize as fuel and convey benefits. Definition rewrite. This is food for our microbiome. So not only the healthy gut bugs, but also we need to remember that we have viruses, we have parasites, we have little amoebas on board. They all participate in prebiotic function. Isn't that interesting? So someone says to you, okay, we have trillions of these cells in our GI tract, but only a very small percentage is coming in these probiotics. What the research is showing is that prebiotics are the ones that actually can significantly influence the microbiome and shift those. But it makes sense if we think about it, because if we eat a lot of processed foods and we have a lot of sugar on board, then we're going to feed bacteria that eat these things, right? So prebiotics obviously are going to stimulate the growth and production of healthy flora, which makes a lot of sense, right? So why are we so excited about Klaire's specific prebiotic? Because not all prebiotics are really great if we don't have the gut bugs on board to be able to digest those prebiotic fibers. So this prebiotic specifically, it's called Sunfiber. It's FODMAPs compliant prebiotic. It's considered a galactomannan soluble fiber, which comes from partially hydrolyzed gar gum. So what's really great about this is that you can take it in larger quantities. It completely dissolves in water, so it's really, really compliance heavy. But the reason why it's super special, again, is not only that it's going to support the regularity of moving things through, helping with that peristaltic function, it's going to feed the good bacteria, and it's suitable for even the most sensitive individual. Really coming back to that original Klaire Farm mission of saying, Klaire Labs is going to make the cleanest nutrients everybody can take. So Klaire does have some really great prebiotics. However, for example, in the Therbiotic line, a lot of people have a hard time with inulin. And so Synbiotic, you can be like, oh, don't worry about it. This is a great place to start. So Sunfiber is a really, really great prebiotic, and it's a great place to start if somebody is new to prebiotic supplementation. So this could be something you could have on board for a while and then start to titrate them into something, more vegetables than probably Klaire's Biotogen formula, another one of the prebiotics in the Klaire Labs lineup. So this is a good starting place. It's also non-GMO, it's gluten-free, it's kosher, halal, vegan, all those lovely things. So what does Klaire do? Klaire takes this powerful combo of prebiotics and probiotics and creates the Synbiotic. I like to point out, just for clarity, this is with an N, not an M. Symbiosis is two organisms living together. Symbiosis is when one supports the other. That's right, synergy. Really important distinction there. So what we have is Klaire Labs Therbiotic Synbiotic. Carefully selected and sourced strains provide a stable probiotic formula backed by science. Delayed release capsules provide further protection to ensure survivability of the strains. State-of-the-art packaging features built-in desiccant liners. The desiccants are built right into the bottle wall, and bottle caps provide enhanced protection from environmental damage. Klaire also has the more customary floating desiccant in the bottle as well. Really keeps them dry, keeps them healthy. I really like this. Teamwork makes the dream work. Therbiotic Synbiotic provides powerful support for your microbiome. It's shelf-stable for 2 years. It's a modern formula for the modern world. Check it out. Appreciate your time today. Hope this helped. Hope you found it helpful. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get notified when the next review comes out. Thanks.